7360186 if you want to, maybe you're working out and you're struggling. I had one guy call last week that said, I used to be able to drop weight and now it's just not happening for some reason. And I'm not eating more than I used to. It's just something is up. Warren Honeycutt is an expert in weight loss, fitness, and nutrition. He loves helping both men and women reach their fitness goals by teaching them to achieve maximum results in minimum time. His greatest joy comes from helping people, young and old, change their bodies, minds, spirits, and lives into what they want them to be. And Warren, what are your thoughts on this story on The Biggest Loser, where they're saying their metabolism has not only been, they ruined their metabolism, but some are saying it might be ruined permanently.
Well, I disagree that it's ruined permanently, Bill.
Okay.
But the point is of the story, yes, the metabolism drops when you drop weight. And the reason for that being primarily, and I just got the tail end of the conversation you were having with the young lady, and I agree with her 100%, is that you drop the weight, but fat or muscle requires a certain amount of calories to sustain its life. Now, the difference is fat on average takes about 5 calories an hour. A day. 24-hour day.
Yeah.
Muscle, on the other hand, a pound of it, same weight, takes 10 times what fat does. So when you take a 400-pound person and you drop 100 pounds and 90 of it is fat and 10 of it is muscle, all of a sudden the metabolism goes down by 500, 600, 700 calories a day. And the biggest issue, and I'm not a fan, I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm not a fan of The Biggest Loser because, their whole gist is to help people lose weight as fast as they can in a short period of time. And that, if you do that, you set yourself up, and a lot of people do, with going on a diet, and then they think, okay, as soon as I get off my diet, I can eat what I want to. Well, what's that going to do for you?
Yeah.
It's going to put you right back where you were. And so it's kind of like Mark Twain says, it's not the things we don't know that get us in trouble. It's the things that we know for certain that just ain't true.
That's good. That's good.
So
I want to. I'm going to say that what's interesting about, they said years ago that the soap operas were programs that women would love to sit and watch, and they all sat around and said, wow, these people are crazy. My life is bad, but it's not nearly that bad. And it made people feel good about themselves. And I kind of wonder if you look at these shows, they really take the extremes. So you have people that are morbidly obese. We're talking, 500, 600, 700, 800 pounds. And the rest of America is looking back on it and saying, hey, I'm overweight, but I'm not this bad. It's almost where they're trying to make people feel good about themselves by making fun of somebody else.
Well, I don't disagree with that at all, Bill. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And they're about entertainment. They're about advertising dollars. They're not really about helping people make a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
And if you do anything short term, it's going to be short term.
Going to be short term. You're going to gain that weight back, and then probably more, which I certainly myself have seen. Cindy Chan Phillips is with the New York Beef Council. She's a nutritionist. And what do you want to say there, Cindy?
Well, I want to say that a certain amount of weight regain is normal after weight loss. So a couple of things we can keep in mind is, number one, is you want to make sure that you maintain your lean muscle mass as much as possible during weight loss. So when you regain weight, studies have shown that when you increase your protein in your diet during your weight loss, and when you regain your weight, you actually regain far less, 1.6 pound versus 6 pound of weight regain. So that's one thing to remember. Second thing is when you focus on losing weight so quickly, it's very hard to sustain, because when you gain the weight back, the weight regain is mostly in the form of fat, which is metabolically very inactive. So you want to aim for 10% over 6 months. That's what the recommendation is.
So 10% weight loss. Warren, you agree with that? 10% over 6 months?
Yes. A pound and a half, 2 pounds at max.
Yeah.
If you go above that, you're going to be messing up a whole lot of things as far as your hormones, and even food affects our brain.
Yeah.
And exercise affects our brain, and in a positive way in regard to the exercise. And when we're not feeling well and when our mood is not good, then the best thing we can do is exercise. Jack LaLanne, my hero, my favorite quote from him is, exercise is king, nutrition is queen. Put them together, you have a great kingdom called life.
Yeah. It is interesting about what makes you feel when you're down, what makes you feel better. And we've trained ourselves, and you hear people do this. It's like they're not feeling well, or they're a little off by midday, and they're like, well, I need a cup of coffee, or I haven't eaten anything yet, so I need to get some calories in me. It's almost like we're assigning something to a feeling that we have. And if you could say exercise is one of the answers to make you feel better, that would change everything, right?
It should.
Yeah.
And there's scientific evidence that exercise, as little as a 10-minute walk at lunch, increases the endorphins in your body,
yeah,
especially dopamine, which is the feel-good enzyme from, or let me say it in this way, cocaine and heroin,
yeah,
increase that dopamine. And exercise does the same thing. So you don't have to have that sugary snack, or you don't have to have so many things that we, just like you pointed out,
yeah,
Bill, get involved in. And exercise, too, takes away those cravings.
And one last question I want to ask you, Warren, and that is, exercise being how much? There are people out there that are running, they're training for a road race. Ours here is the Boilermaker. There are some people doing these CrossFit or these extreme, what's the program Andrew's on? Is it CrossFit? Or,
no, that was Manaski.
You did CrossFit, he's doing, but it's extreme, hard, really high workout, high level workout. So what is the answer? Is too much a problem? Should you, obviously too little is a problem. What are your thoughts?
It depends on goals. If someone's training for a marathon, certainly they're going to have to put in the hours.
Sure.
If they're doing it for weight control, and if I could use myself as an example, Bill, I'm 63 years old, have a body fat of 6-7%, and that's where I stay year-round.
Yeah.
And people say, you must live in the gym. No, not at all. I've got a life outside the gym. And the thing I do is about 2 hours of resistance training a week and about 2 hours of aerobic, but that's including HIIT, high-intensity interval training. And that keeps my metabolism running at about 3,000 calories a day, which, for anybody is pretty doggone good.
Yeah.
And that's what I put my clients on. And I don't want them to get burned out. I want them to do something that they enjoy as a lifestyle and see the benefits of it to live their life better.
And if people want to know what you look like, your website, am I correct in saying your website is getlean.guru?
Yes.
Getlean.guru. You can check out Warren and see his success. Warren, as always, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill. Always great to be with you.